Sidney Powell, one of the former president's most ardent advocates, who never proved he actually won last year's election, gave what could be charitably called a bizarre interview to a reporter for Australian television. Our Randy Kay now with the result and how it turned into must-see TV.
Do you ever hear yourself and think that it sounds ridiculous?
No, I know myself very well. I've been in me a long time. I know my reputation.
Attorney Sidney Powell was part of the self-proclaimed elite strike force, a team of lawyers who made false promises about rooting out election fraud. Powell and others accused voting technology companies, Dominion Voting Systems and Smartmatic, of using an algorithm in their machines to flip votes from then-President Trump to Joe Biden. There is no evidence that any voting system used in the last election changed, deleted, or lost votes. During a tense interview, Powell was grilled about her claims and her research, or lack thereof.
Let's get a few simple facts straight. In how many states were Smartmatic machines and software used in the 2020 election?
I don't even know the exact numbers.
A Google search would tell you, let alone anything that Smartmatic themselves have said subsequently, that they were involved in one single county in LA. Are you saying you're not aware of that?
Well, I'm saying I think their involvement's probably a lot bigger than that.
What actual research or fact-checking did you do at the time to find out what Smartmatic's actual involvement in the election was?
Do you work for Smartmatic?
You've made an allegation against Smartmatic that they stole a presidential election. I think it's incumbent on both of us to know what Smartmatic's involvement was. It seems like a pretty foundational fact.
I mean, I'm confused right now about why you're here.
Correspondent Sarah Ferguson called Powell's claims patently ridiculous.
Very quickly in the interview, she decided that I was somehow an envoy of the voting machine companies that she had accused of rigging the election. So it kind of went downhill from there.
Like when Ferguson presented Powell with the facts about Smartmatic's role.
Do you accept the fact now that the company that you accused of stealing a national election only operated in one county in LA in California? One county, one state?
No, I'm not prepared to accept that fact. I think Smartmatic's involvement was far more significant than that.
And when Powell was backed into a corner, this happened.
You said that Smartmatic owns Dominion. How do you justify such a basic factual error?
I'm going to stop this interview. It's wholly inappropriate in the litigation that we're in.
But we're not even in the area of great dispute. These are the simple facts of who owns what.
No, we're done.
After some coaxing, Powell agreed to continue.
I'm highly skeptical of how long this is going to last.
Once again pushing the big lie and falsely claiming she has evidence.
All of the organizations who had the responsibility to check the nature of this election and to verify its results say there was no fraud.
That's the propaganda they're putting out. I disagree with that completely, and we have and will produce additional evidence that shows otherwise.
Are you saying that thousands of Americans participated in a fraud?
I am saying that thousands of Americans had some role in it, knowingly or unknowingly. It was essentially a bloodless coup where they took over the presidency of the United States without a single shot being fired.
Smartmatic and Dominion Voting have both filed multi-billion-dollar defamation lawsuits against Powell and others. Those lawsuits are moving forward in court despite efforts to have them dismissed. This interview was Sidney Powell's chance to save face.
What do you have in your case? You have a bunch of dodgy affidavits that don't add up. You have a group of people with dubious credentials.
That's your characterization. That's all your characterization.
So far, you've provided no evidence.
You might as well be working for Dominion and Smartmatic.
I'm just waiting for you to provide the evidence.
Yeah, well, you'll see it in court.
Randy Kay joins me now. They've been saying that, oh, you'll see it in court. I mean, they were in court. They were thrown out of every court, in all the various jurisdictions that they brought the stuff to court.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, Anderson. So where is the evidence? That's the key. But now this reporter, Sarah Ferguson, she did a great job. She was expecting some pushback from Sidney Powell, but she was very surprised at the fact that Sidney Powell was totally unprepared, those were this reporter's words, to try and support some of her baseless claims. In fact, the reporter said that her producer seems to think that Powell agreed to the interview so she could practice for her upcoming depositions, given these lawsuits that she's facing. But if you know anything about Sidney Powell, Anderson, as you know, this is the same woman who's claimed that there was video evidence of votes being carried across the border from Mexico to the United States for Joe Biden. We never saw that video, did we? She also claimed that Dominion Voting, which is now suing her, started in Venezuela to help Hugo Chavez cheat and win every election. We know that Dominion Voting actually started in Toronto. So Sidney Powell certainly needs to get her facts straight, Anderson.
Yeah. Randy Kay, thanks very much. Fascinating interview.